Every Welcome everybody to today's lecture. Today we have a very special guest with us from the HomeBiogas, and his name is Yair Teller. He is an expert on renewable energy, on projects in developing countries. Really, he's going to share a lot of his experience with us today in this lecture on promoting resilience and adaptation to climate change in agricultural farms and education centers. But before we begin, we will ask, we have the honor to ask the Director of Training and Capacity Building of Mashav, Zehavit Ben Hillel, to open this session and to give a few words of welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Bienvenidos. I see that we have a lot of friends from Latin America. So I'm Zavid Ben Hillel, the newly appointed Director of Training and Capacity Building in Mashav. On behalf of Mashav, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation at the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I want to say hello to everybody from Jerusalem. I would like to welcome you all to this online lecture on promoting resilience and adaptation to climate change in agricultural farms and education center. Thank you, Yair Teller from HomeBiogas, for sharing your expertise and knowledge with all our participants. We all know that dealing with climate change is something that every country in the world has to deal with. And I think that in Israel, we believe that finding solutions together is a key in this ongoing challenge. This is something that we strongly believe in here in Moshav and in Israel in general. So we're very happy to share. I don't want to take a lot of time to share ideas of sustainable technologies from Israel that can be useful to each and every one of you. Thank you all for taking part. Among you, I know that we have Mashav alumni, and hopefully we have Mashav graduates from future training as well, and we would love to see many of you here in Israel. So thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Zehavit, and thank you all of you participants from all over the world for joining us today. Without further ado, I would like to give you the floor, Yair, and please, you're welcome to begin.
Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn, Tammy, and Zavit, and Mashav for long cooperation together for many years, promoting sustainable development together. I'm in the biogas. I'm one of the founders, co-founder of a company called HomeBiogas, and more than 15 years in this environment. And I think the most important thing here, and then we'll talk about in the end, is to see how, first of all, we can to give you some case studies and to learn together, and then to see if we can actually also collaborate together to promote more sustainable projects. That's it. So let's start. So these are my two children. Mine is on the left and Emma on the right. And between them, what you see is the flame cooking and something called home biogas. So what is home biogas? What's biogas? It's a renewable energy. How does it work? These are Emma and Mime after they grew up for many years. So Mime is peeling a potato and into the biobean. And here we can see the waste, the organic waste that we take, we throw into the biogas system. And Emma on the right is actually cooking an egg on biogas and renewable energy. So these children, as I can say, these are my children. So everything I'm going to talk to you here is actually walk the talk at my home level and of course all over the world. We'll show it soon. What's important here is that the children, my children, and many hundreds of thousands of children across the world grew up with the knowledge that waste is a resource. It's not something that you want to throw out. So in the last 10 years in my home, We reduced 60 tons of greenhouse gas emissions, transformed 10 tons of organic waste. We upcycled it. We produced more than 6,000 hours of clean, renewable cooking gas and produced more than 24,000 liters of biofertilizer, and we saved thousands of dollars. So HomeBiogas, the company, where we are, what we do. So we power the future of climate tech. We have systems across the world, more than 100 countries across the world. We work with more than 24 global distributors in Latin America, Southeast Asia, in the Pacific, India, and more, in Africa, of course. We have more than 200,000 global users. We do carbon projects also. We're an official supplier of the UN. We do many UN projects also. We hold international patents. And also we are a B certified corporation. That means that we work for the benefit of the society. And also we developed and work under all ISO standards and CE standards and international product liability. So it's a very, very certified, let's call it like that. We got many awards, if it's the Financial Times, if it's the World Bank Award, and more and more. In the last, our global, in the ESG report that we did, as you see, of 2023, in our projects together, we saved more than 200,000 trees. We produced more than 32 million hours of clean cooking. We saved more than 134 million liters of water. We upcycled more than 8,000 tons of food waste and much more than that of animal waste. We reduced more than 134 tons of greenhouse gas emissions, and we produced more than 500,000 cubic meter of biofertilizer. All our work together, of course, promotes 13 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. So what we actually do, we make waste to resource solutions accessible to all. We work in areas of the food security, agricultural, clean cooking, renewable energy, sanitation, and of course, the environment. So what our vision is, we as I said, we're turning waste into resource, okay? So advanced solutions for local organic waste and sanitation in households and agricultural environments, eliminating the use of charcoal, wood, providing access to clean, reliable toilets where none exist. We address two major global challenges. One, of course, is people that still cook. More than 3 billion people still cook on wood and charcoal, and our solution stops it and provides the people with clean, renewable cooking gas, as you could see before and after. And more than 2 billion people lack access to proper sanitation. They go to do their stuff or in a hole or in the forest or in the river, and we provide safe, reliable, clean, and solutions that can be, of course, all of it off-grid solutions. Our main product is one, the biogas system, the prefabricated scaled biogas system, and the biotoilet, the toilet itself, and the biogas system that comes with it. So we have a few types of systems, number 2, number 4, number 6, the farmer, number 8. But altogether, what we do is actually we provide a system that everything comes in a box, as a do-it-yourself kit, and we send it around the world in ships, containers, or by air. to people that actually want the systems. Every system provides up to 5 hours of clean cooking gas and more than 100 liters of rich nutrient fertilizer. How does it work? You throw your organic waste, animal waste, food waste, and when it's toilet, also human feces, and it goes into the biogas system. They're in a natural process of anaerobic fermentation. Anaerobic fermentation produces biogas. Biogas is flammable, and you can actually cook on it. And what comes out of it is biofertilizer that is very, very good for the garden and for agriculture. And we'll talk about it more. So our product actually takes you, and in the farm, from a linear economy to a circular economy. What does that mean, a linear economy? A linear economy says like if you, let's say, cook on wood and charcoal, that means that you cut it, you take a tree, you cut it down, and you burn it, and it's finished. Or if you have gas, you take oil, you put it in a factory, you get LPG, and you cook on it, but that's fossil fuel. Then it's finished. What we do is called upcycling, or in Spanish, super reciclaje. That means that you take the waste, we throw it into the biogas system, the organic waste, we throw into the biogas system. There in the natural process, it produces the biogas and the fertilizer. The fertilizer is to grow more food. The gas is to cook the food. And the waste goes back again into the system. This way, we close the cycle. And the symbol of upcycling is a little different than the symbol of recycling, because recycling is, let's say, from plastic to plastic. But upcycling means that I took something and I made something better out of it. I took waste and I produced out of it gas, and I produced out of it more food. So this way, we close the cycle, and we help, of course, the environment and ourselves. So let's take an example of one of our projects, let's say in Kenya or in Rwanda, where we have also projects and also customers. So there it costs them at least $30 a month to cook, so that we eliminate the need to buy wood, charcoal, or go to the forest to cut more trees. And the production of liquid fertilizer reduces hundreds or thousands of dollars instead of the chemical fertilizer. This way we close the cycle, reduce the pollution and improve the health, improve the crop yield with free quality fertilizer, and we reduce long-term energy cost. That means cooking cost. Our systems are at least 10 years, even more, even 15 years can live. So this way you can actually see the economic saving out of it. Here we can see an example of in Kenya from air. How does it look? So you can see the black system is the HomeBiogas system. And you can look and see in a village, houses that have the HomeBiogas system next to them. 1 second. Where is it? Okay. Here's one system. Now you can see another system. These are each one a private house, a farm that has cows. They take the animal manure, put it into the system, catch the methane gas, cook on it, use the fertilizer for the garden. So if we look at, we look from the top, now we're going down in Kenya. the production increased, the production of maize, here we can see some maize, increased by 30%. The use of chemical fertilizer decreased by 50%. So this increases the income, of course, and the resilience of the farmer, and we'll talk about it more. So actually, when we implement our technology in a large scale, like we can see here, our technology provides national infrastructure of renewable energy, fertilizer, and waste management at the household level. Why? Because energy is national infrastructure. Waste management is national infrastructure. Fertilizer is part of national infrastructure. And all of this, you get together by our product. Let's talk about a little bit about the fertilizer that comes out. After we talked about the energy and the cooking, now we can talk a little bit about the fertilizer. So you can see different applications, different farmers from across the world that use the biofertilizer for their benefit. You can see that the fertilizer cost and the energy cost comes together are not stable. You can see that the price of the energy and the fertilizer, it comes together because chemical fertilizer is actually needs a lot of energy to use it because they catch the nitrogen from the air, okay, and make it to become liquid or hard or like or liquid fertilizer, nitrogen, or also in grains. This needs a lot of energy. It actually takes about 2% of the energy in the world, and the cost of energy and the cost of the fertilizer is really dependent on the situation in the world. Depends if you have a war, let's say like Russia and Ukraine. It depends if you have a COVID. Depends, as we saw in 2022, the cost of fertilizer jumped up a lot. And it really depends in the international world and what's the situation. And this hurts a lot the farmers because when the cost of a fertilizer jumps up or the cost of energy jumps up, this is very, very hard. And our system helps to be resilient for that. So the price of global chaos, as we call it, the energy price goes up, supply chain challenges, and also transportation costs. All of this makes everything in the farm level to go up, the cost. As we can see, also in newspaper, high fertilizer prices open opportunity for more sustainable ways of growing crops. So what's the value of our fertilizer for the soil and for the plants? So our organic fertilizer has actually all the elements that the plant needs, all the micro and macro nutrients. Let's say if you take a regular chemical fertilizer, you have NPK. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, is like you can say to a person, your diet is only carbohydrates, bread, fats, and sugars. Okay, we can grow on it, we can live in it, but we all know that we actually also need vitamin B12, we need vitamin A, we need vitamin C, we need a good flora in our stomach, and we need all of that to build a healthy soil, to build a healthy plant. And without it, the plant will be sick and will need also pesticides. So what the biofertilizer is actually doing, when you apply to the soil, it provides a healthier soil structure, humidity retention, nutrient retention, and healthy bioflora. And even if you apply the chemical fertilizer with a biofertilizer, it helps to absorb it a lot because chemical fertilizer tends to wash away or go up in the air. And of course, for the plant, because it has a healthy soil structure, has a like a probiotic and a biofilm that is very good around the roots and the soil and the leaves. So it helps to biostimulate its growth. as I said, better absorption of the nutrients because the bacteria around the roots are healthier, stronger root structure, healthier and tastier crops because you get all the micro and macronutrients, you get better crops, healthier crops, and more long life crops. And of course, increases the yield, so you get more money. So of course, as we said, if you get benefit for the plants and for the soil, you have a bio value for the farmer because actually he reduces the amount of chemical fertilizer that he needs to use, if at all. We have also for many farmers that stopped using at all chemical fertilizer and some partially. And of course, also it has more value. It gets more money because it produces more. And it has increased resilience. What does it mean, resilience? It's resilient to the changes of cost of the chemical fertilizer, changes of cost for the for energy if he needs. And of course, it takes care also of all the organic waste that he has in the farm. So he upcycles it and gets all the benefits. The environment, how does it help? When methane gas, as we talked before, we produce biogas, that's methane gas. So when you throw all the organic waste or animal manure into that you have in the farm, and you throw it into a hole or something like that, that means that a lot of gas goes up to the air. And methane gas is a greenhouse gas 30 times worse to the environment than CO2. So by catching the organic waste, catching the methane gas, and cooking on it, we reduce the contamination to the environment of methane gas, and this helps a lot of the benefit. Also, of course, by cooking on biogas instead of cooking on wood and charcoal, we help a lot the environment because we don't need to cut down the trees and we don't have all the smoke coming out from cooking. So we have the soil, we reduce the chemical fertilizer, we have the water. Why water? Because big problem in the world is that water is contaminated from animal manure or human feces, and we stop this contamination. Air contamination, as we said, from N2O, CO2, and methane. Some case studies. This is Noé Rico from Mexico. We can see that he has a farm of growing tomatoes. He started to use he has 3 biogas systems. He started to use it in his biofertilizer, liquid biofertilizer in the irrigation system. And we can see that the product is beautiful. He reduced the amount of chemical fertilizer. He uses the biogas for cooking, and he saves a lot of money. We can see that he's saving more than $4,000 actually a year by using the biogas system. So we can see it has economic impact. We have, of course, a social impact, healthier cooking and cheaper food for the community, and environmental impact, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. His system is fed by cow manure, and his crops, okay, he has strawberry, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes, and more. This is from Ecuador. I put it for the people that came from Ecuador. In Ecuador, we have a lot of people that grow cows in pasture. These are actually cows for milking. So they go out in the pasture to eat, and they come back again to milk every day. This pasture is mostly fertilized with a lot of chemical fertilizer to grow more grass so the cows can eat. And what we do, this farm bought a few biogas systems. They take the animal manure that is consumed, when they milk the cows, they get a lot of animal manure. They put it in the biogas system, they get the biogas and the liquid fertilizer, they put back again into the grass. As you can see, the grass looks beautiful. Here they're fertilizing with the biofertilizer on the grass. The grass is green, and of course, more grass, it grows. So they reduce the amount of cuts that they need to do. They increase the yield of the grass. They save $660 per hectare. And actually, they save about 20 cents per liter of milk. So that's a lot of money. So they have also an economic impact, also the social impact, and also the environment impact of, as I said, as reducing the greenhouse gas emission, reducing the need of chemical fertilizer, etc. So the benefits of the fertilizer, as I said, one is reduce the cost. Two, you improve the fertilization efficiency. That means that if you use the chemical fertilizer and the biofertilizer together, it actually helps to absorb it, and you reduce the amount of chemical fertilizer that you use. You decrease the pesticides and fungicides you need to use because you have healthier plants. You increase the yield. It's very easy to integrate the liquid fertilizer. You can put it with a funnel. You can put it through the irrigation system anywhere you want. And of course, as we said, we enhance the farmer resilience. Also, economically. Also, it doesn't need to be dependent so much as sourcing of chemical fertilizer or energy. And of course, he has, as we said, he also has, we're helping the environment. So this is an endless value chain, also of the soil, the plants and the crops, for the farmer, and the environment. So for the soil, we conservation and irrigation and regenerative agriculture. For the plants and the crops, more robust and better yield plants. For the farmer, reduces cost, improve resilience, and increased yield. And for the environment, sustainable waste management and minimizing contamination and pollution. This is a real circular economy at the farm level. Now we go into our second product. As we said, it's called the BioToilet. This BioToilet is connected to a digester, and Bill Gates, that is a promoter of these solutions. For us, we did it without him, but when you think about things that are basic, I think of having reasonable toilet certainly belongs on the list. So what we say, what we developed and we promote something that provides a person with a basic of life. That's a toilet. It's an off-grid toilet. Manages human waste, reduces the environmental pollution, and our solution is installed in thousands of locations worldwide. As you can see, and as we talked before, there's more than 2 billion people with no access today. Our solution can be in a cabin outside, or it can be in the house. Because if you can see here, we have a pedal. It's our development. It's a leg pedal. That means that you flush it. You press on the pedal, and this pushes the waste. So you need a minimum of amount of water to actually make the toilet work. Instead of 9 liters per flush, you can use only a half a liter to a liter per flush. And this can work from a water from a bucket, a water from any source, or water from the grid. But you can be also off-grid, water grid, or connected to the grid, and you'll get a decent, beautiful toilet, ceramic, that can be cleaned and give you dignity. The system is connected to the biogas system that transform the human waste the human feces into biogas and also treats it inside of it. So what comes out is easy for the environment to deal. This liquid, we don't give it as, let's say, fertilizer for tomatoes or lettuce. Yes, you can grow on it trees or plants like banana trees or papaya trees, but all the liquid goes underneath the ground. Humans do not touch it. Why? Because it's still toilet. So how it actually works, as you can see on the left, you have the toilet, and you can press the pedal on the right. That goes into the biogas system. The biogas system treats the waste, produces the gas, and the liquid goes under that. The treated liquid that is already broken down by the bacteria goes underneath the ground. And there, if you want, you can, as I said, you can plant it in plants like flowers or even trees. The gas will go to cook or to heat water for shower, etc. A case study that we can talk about that we have toilets all around the world. I'm talking about USA, in Israel, private people, projects, thousands of toilets across the world. Here an example of El Salvador National Sanitation Project to reduce disease and improve hygiene standards and reduce the contamination of water, rivers, and lakes. So the government of El Salvador is promoting this. Why? Because, as I said, this system can be also off-grid, so also places, villages that are not connected to water, they can have a beautiful toilet. They can take water from a bucket, throw into the toilet, press on the pump on the right, and have a toilet. As you see in the picture on the left, you can see a picture that how it looked before. We call it, let's say, a shit pit or a shit hole. Sorry for the not nice word, but this is what it is. And on the right, you can see after a beautiful toilet. And I have an interesting story from this. When I went to visit this project a few years back, I met a woman, Maria, and we installed for her the toilet. And then she said to me, you know, I want to tell you something. The biogas is amazing, but actually the real benefit that I got out of it is that before I had all the time flies and cockroaches that were coming in from the toilet, from the hole, from the shit hole, and going into my house. And also my small daughter, when she was going to the toilet, I could not let her to go alone because I was afraid that she will fall inside. And now I have a clean environment. I don't have cockroaches and flies going into my house. That means it's also improved health. And I'm not afraid to let my daughter go to the toilet by herself. So sometimes the impact is greater than what even we think. Here we're talking about thousands of systems, of course. Sorry. We're going in now to another kind of projects that we have. HomeBiogas in schools around the globe. This is something I love a lot. I believe in educating the next generations. And we have thousands of schools around the world in Brazil, in El Salvador, in Kenya, in Cameroon, in Fiji, Pacific Islands, Costa Rica, Panama, Israel, USA, El Salvador, and more. Thousands of schools and education centers promoting sustainable education for the future generation. Here you can see on the left, a student throwing organic waste into the biogas system. So the home biogas education is a life change appliance. That means that you put the biogas systems in the school. If they have animal waste, that means cow waste, they can throw in the cow waste. Or if they have even, and then they use the fertilizer or food waste, they can throw inside, and even feces, but this we'll talk a little later. From the waste, of course, as I said, we produce the gas, so they can cook and clean cooking gas. Many schools around the world still use wood and charcoal for cooking food, and the fertilizer for growing more food in the school. This also benefits, of course, more food security, healthier food, and also, of course, it's also education. You can cook, you can teach many things. HomeBiogas is an educational toolkit. You can teach in it environment, biology, chemistry, physics, health, SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, upcycling, sustainable agriculture, and more. Of course, it's connected also to STEM education. It's hands-on education, real-life education that the children feel it in their hands, and they learn it, and they remember it. Part of, as I said, we have a toilet project in El Salvador, but we also have a school project in El Salvador, national infrastructure projects, thousands of schools. There we provide also the basic sanitation, that means the bio toilets, also renewable energy, and also agriculture for schools. So these are not the same biogas systems. We have biogas systems for agriculture, as I explained, and we have biogas systems for toilets. But these schools before that didn't have even a toilet. Now they have toilets they can provide beautiful toilets for the teachers and for the students, and also get the renewable energy. Where before that they didn't have good toilets, or even didn't have toilets at all. Also, we provide a biogas system for waste management and for teaching agricultural and producing, as I said, the fertilizer and growing more food in the school. Another example of schools in Brazil, there's more than 500 schools. Here you can see educators teaching children and educating them how to use the system, how to produce the fertilizer, how to throw in the waste, produce the biogas, and use the biofertilizer. Also in Israel, we have hundreds of schools and education centers. You can see them. The main purpose here is also education, hands-on, out of the classroom. When you teach, not in front of the blackboard, but real-life education, when a child throws in the waste and then can cook on it, then he really understands it. He understands how, food waste or animal waste is actually a resource. And from that, you can teach everything else: renewable energy, food growing, and organic waste management. And as I said, we have many more schools in many more countries around the world. Also, I want to put something here. The biogas system is an education platform. It's an education platform that is the same in every school. It's the same in every school, in every country. So this can also promote cross-community education, or even cross-global education for the environment. That means that even teachers or students from different communities, different schools, can do actually projects together because they have the same infrastructure. They can do projects together in, let's say, growing food, or doing research on how much waste they transformed, how much renewable energy they produced. This is local impact. And also the global impact of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And this way, you can also do research and research cross-community research, because we have the same platform all over the world, also in every country. Another kind of projects that we do is carbon projects. We do carbon projects. That means, because I explained that our biogas system reduces the greenhouse gas emissions by catching the methane gas and burning it, and also because we stop the deforestation and stop cooking in wood and charcoal, all of this is worth carbon credit. Some countries even 9 and 10 tons per system per year. We have carbon credits projects in Kenya, in India, in Rwanda, in Ghana, in Nepal. The carbon market is the growing market with a big opportunity. There's two kinds of markets, the voluntary carbon market and the compliance carbon market. They're worth many, many billions of dollars. And it's also a way to promote and finance projects. So we showed financing by government, by grants, by international operation, international NGOs, and also by carbon market, as we can see here. For example, we have a project in Kenya for 50,000 systems. We already started the project. We're already selling the carbon. Okay. The potential in Kenya is more than 2 million small dairy farmers. So all of the dairy farmers, they have cows, and they can have the biogas system, put the biogas system in the house, use the manure of the cow for producing the gas, the liquid fertilizer for the farm, and of course, get the gas out of it. The project that we have in Kenya is certified by Gold Standard, the highest certification of carbon. And also today, if you want, you can actually get and buy credits. We sell credits also to big vendors, but also to private people. Here you can see the Gold Standard Marketplace, if you want to go inside of it. It's supposed to work. Do you see me?
We see you, and
Okay.
we see the
The
your
movie.
screen. Let's see if it works.
HomeBiogas is a certified gold standard for our carbon project in Kenya, demonstrating our commitment to transforming how communities access clean energy. By leveraging innovative technology that captures and removes methane, which is the second most abundant greenhouse gas, our biogas systems go beyond reducing to actively eliminate greenhouse gas emissions from the atmosphere. It's all about empowering small dairy farmers. By transforming cow manure into renewable energy and biofertilizer, our biogas systems are not just managing waste, they're fostering resilience and supporting regenerative agriculture. Over thousands of farmers' families are now reaping the benefits of our biogas solution. These systems significantly cut carbon emissions and boost the quality of life, marking a milestone in our journey towards sustainability. Celebrating this achievement, we're committed to expanding our reach, supporting more families with clean energy, and driving sustainability forward. Join us to make a difference. Support our projects, mitigate carbon emissions, and make a social impact. Together, we can make waste matter.
So as you see, you can buy the on Gold Standard Marketplace in $30, or you can also go to our website and HomeBiogas and buy a certification to reduce your carbon emission, and this will help farmers to get a biogas system in a reduced price. So this is also good for the environment, also good to help farmers, and doing good in the world. So this is, and you get the certification. So this is very, very good. This is a way also to finance. summarize it, you can see here from a research that was done by Vivid Economic. They did evaluating the benefit improved cooking solution. And it shows that actually, this is not, actually Biogas project create greater shared social and economical value. How do they create it? Because they reduce the climate impact, environment impact, promote sustainable work, promote health, promote gender equality, and promote, of course, the increase of the profitability of the farmer. And this way, actually, it's not actually the impact of even 1 ton of biogas, 1 ton of carbon of biogas is worth $465. It's not what you can get, of course, in the market for it, but this is the real impact on the country level, the improved health of the people that are not sick because they don't cook on wood and charcoal, the improved time that they have because they don't need to go and get wood or cut down the trees, the fertilizer that is produced and has better value for the farm, work, environment, and all of it is worth a lot of money in the national level, and also, of course, in the farm level. And if you look at the national level, of course, when you go to every country, the resilient and the economy starts from the bottom, from the household, from the farm, and then goes up and up. So if in the farm level, they're resilient and help to mitigate to climate change, then it goes up and up into the country level. As I said before, that biogas projects create greater shared social and economical value. This is more than any kind of project that you will put in. If it's water filtration, cook stoves, wind, forestry, anything that you want, the biogas projects provide the country with the highest social economical value that is worth even more than $400 per ton. So how the system is actually funded, as I said, private clients can actually purchase it from their own funds, farmers. If it's carbon financing, if it's grant, government financing, NGO financing, different ways that the farmer or the customer can get our systems. So HomeBiogas today enters into 2025 with very strong assets, and we will be happy to collaborate with you. We have a proven technology in the ground in many countries. We have strong partnership, gold standard, and countries. We have strong implementers partners. We have distributors in many countries, and we're also looking for more. We know how to expand operations. We know also to implement the projects. So all of this together is a very strong asset to collaborate. What we're looking for partners that have the ability also to finance and promote this kind of large-scale projects. We're looking for partners, if it's in the government, if it's in the NGOs, or even private, that have the ability and the capability to promote large-scale projects. And we're happy to collaborate with you. Thank you very much for the benefit of our children, all our children. Thank you for my children. Thank you for me. HomeBiogas.
Okay, thank you, Yair. There's a lot of action on the chat with questions for you, so I'd like to start presenting them to you.
Should I close Should I close the presentation or maybe you will
You
need
can
it?
close it, but maybe sometimes in your answer you would like to go back to some of the things you said. I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay.
But you
I
can
can,
close it if you want. I think it's
no, it's
okay.
okay. I can leave it open, no problem.
Okay. So let's see some of these questions. First, I'm going to start with an old friend of mine. So I'd like to say hello to my good friend Jimmy Anthony from Mauritius. How are you? Jimmy is asking, how long does it take to complete the cycle, meaning from the time you start introducing the organic waste until you can produce the energy and the liquid fertilizer?
So the organic waste, the first time you put in organic waste, it takes about 2 weeks to get the first flame, 2 weeks. But then every day you get gas and fertilizer. The whole process itself, the waste is inside the system for an average of at least 30 days. But every day you get fertilizer and every day you get the gas. So you throw in the waste inside the system, inside there it's sitting, the bacteria is breaking it down, producing the gas, and every day you get gas for cooking and fertilizer. But inside the digester, the waste is about for 30 days in average.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to stick with Mauritius just for now and go to Shane's question. So Shane says, hello from Mauritius, and it's great to be with Mashav after 22 years. Well, it's great to have you. Shane, what is the difference between voluntary sea market and compliance sea market?
So voluntary carbon market is a, let's call it a nice to have market, because voluntary, that means that, let's say, companies want, or private people want to reduce the amount of impact that they have, and they're willing to pay for their carbon emissions, but they don't have to. Let's say a company is G says, okay, we have let's say we in our work, what we do, let's say if it's a flight company or other companies, we have this and this amount of emissions, we want to balance it, we can buy it if they want. The compliance market is a different market. It's a market that is under the, also both of us are under United Nations, but the compliance market is what you have to balance your carbon emission. That means that many countries in the COP, in the United Nations conference in Paris in 2016, they signed an agreement to reduce the amount of emissions that every country has until year 2030. And this reduction, they signed on it. That means that they have to actually reduce it. And that reduction, also some of the countries put tax financing on companies that are emitting a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. Let's say like factories, big factories, oil factories, car factories, things like that. So there is a tax on them on every carbon emission that they put into the atmosphere, and they have to balance it, also in the country level and also at the company level. And this market is a very certified market, let's call it like that. It's a have-to-have market, and that means that the carbon prices are a little higher. And it's a bigger market also.
Okay.
I'm talking very basic words here because I'm not sure everybody understands it. So I'm not talking high-end level carbon words.
Yair, before we leave, I will ask you to put all of your contact information in the chat so that people can contact you with more questions afterwards or with partnership proposals. Okay, so here's the question regarding the toilets. Okay, Benjamin would like to know regarding the toilets, how durable are they from a maintenance point of view?
Uh, First of all, I have the toilet in my house, so I can tell you many years. But we built all our systems. Of course, it took us time, but we put a lot of energy to build our system to be very, very reliable. Also, the materials that we use, we have special patents on it and how we develop the material to be off-grid. And also, of course, the toilet itself, we developed to be very robust, very strong, and that can stand in hard conditions. We actually have like a special machine that pumps down, up and down, up and down, up and down the pump hundreds of thousands of times to test it. So we test everything very, very, very in a very good way to see that it actually can live in a regular house or for many, many years.
Okay, thank you. Musa would like to know, can you clarify a little bit about using animal waste in comparison to the NPK for planting? Like, are both processes going under the biogas system, or how does it work
So
for
as
the
I said, we have
biofertilizers?
two types of systems. We have a system that takes care of animal waste and food waste, and that goes into the biogas system and produces the natural fertilizer that you can put on plants. We have another type of system that is for the toilets that goes into the biogas system, produces the gas, but let's call it the liquid fertilizer. We can use it only underneath the ground. We don't apply it to the plants. Regarding to the NPK, as I said, in the plants and in the manure, there's many, many, many micro and macronutrients. So in the biogas system, when it goes inside to the system, what actually breaks out and becomes biogas is the carbon part. Let's call it like that, the carbon part. The part that actually the plants, it's easy for them. They actually absorb it, the CO2 from the air with the energy of the sun. They produce sugar, right? Glucose. And this is how organic material is developed. So this they know how to do it by themselves. But all the nutrients, the nitrogen, phosphorus, all the vitamins, all of those elements stay in the fertilizer, actually become mature even better. And when they come out, it actually can be ready to use to apply to the plants. Because let's say animal manure in a regular farm, you cannot take cow manure and straight put it on a plant. It will burn it. It has to go through composting time and things like that. But here with the biofertilizer, what comes out is already broken down and ready to be used.
Okay, thank you. Sampa Soneka asks, why should I recommend this type of biodigester to our local farmers when they can build the traditional biotanks? What makes this technology more appealing than the old brick-made ones?
Good question. The old brick one, it's an interesting story. The old brick one, you need to dig in the ground 10 cubic meter hole, first of all. Then you need to take bricks and cement and build a biogas system. This, some places you cannot do it at all, and some places it takes a long time, and you need to know how to do it very, very well, because as you know, in houses, a little earthquake or something moves and you get cracks, and then the system doesn't work. And many, many biogas systems across the world, first of all, it takes between 2 weeks to a month to build, let's say a traditional old-type biogas system. When it works, they work well, but a lot of them break. And then how could you provide maintenance to something that is underneath the ground? Also, the quality control is very problematic. How can you have quality control between different builders in different places if they put more cement, less cement, if they did a good gas tightening or not. In our plant, because it's prefabricated, it's 100% quality control assurance in the factory level. Second of all, to put the system on the ground, instead of 1 month, it takes 2 hours. Instead of 1 month, 2 hours. And the maintenance is very easy because you can see it. It's above ground. If there's a problem, you can actually see it. You can fix it. That's it. This is the big difference.
And what is the life expectancy of the system?
Well, I just want to say, I don't know many farmers that build it by themselves. Mostly when you build something by yourself, me in the beginning, I built biogas systems by myself, they break. They don't work. You need to have a very knowledgeable supplier, let's say it like that, that can give you very good systems.
So, and what is the life expectancy of the HomeBiogas system?
10 to 15 years.
Okay. That was Narissa's question. Okay, let's see. Let's go on. Okay, so we have Lindy Way says
Ecuador, I saw in Ecuador there was a question. In Ecuador, we have a distributor, so you can contact him because do HomeBiogas in Ecuador, you'll see.
Okay, so we have a question from Lindy Way. Thanks a lot for the enlightening presentation. I'm a PhD student specializing in sustainable agriculture and carbon credits in South Africa. I would like to know, how did you get the carbon credit right in Kenya? Secondly, do farmers need specialized skills to adopt the biogas generation and biofertilizers?
Good question. To get the certification, we went through a very robust process that you need to go through gold standard process. It takes a few years, but we did it. So we have the knowledge how to develop carbon projects. It needs a large scale, of course. Projects, these are not small scale projects. These are not scattered farming here or there. These are like large scale, very centralized projects, but we do it. We did it. That's one. And second of all, yeah, part of the project or part of what we do with farmers is that we educate the farmer how to use the system, how to use the fertilizer, how to apply it. We have also videos. You can go online, you can see, and we have videos how to use the system. We have videos how to use the fertilizer, how to apply the fertilizer, if it's to apply it with a bucket or to apply it through tractors, irrigation system, drip irrigation systems, how much pumps, how much to put in, how to calculate it. We have many things, but the basic of using it, we have as I said, we provide education. We provide education and capacity building for the farmers.
So Yair, we have Emilian from Georgia, and Emilian has two questions. The first is about using pruning materials. The pruning.
Good question. Pruning materials, pruning, let's say trees, is not good, okay? Because the wood from a tree is very hard. It's lignocellulose, and the bacteria, they don't have teeth, and it's hard for them to break it down. If you prune, let's say, soft materials like leaves, or if you prune, let's say, these or that, they can go into the system. But wood, branches, things like that cannot go into the system.
Okay, and the second question is, which is, I think, on behalf of everybody here, the second question is, what is the approximate price of one system, of one biogas
Well, it depends.
system?
It depends where in the world, what kind of project. You can buy it online. It will cost one thing. You can buy it in every country. It will be different. Depends on how much it costs to import it, to implement it, to send it to the place, to have the project implementation. This has a lot of depends on the cost. So different places, different costs, depends on and also some places, we have, as I said, in Rwanda we had a UNDP project. In other places we have government projects. In other places we have carbon projects. In other places we have Depends, each place, it's a different price.
Okay. See, we will upload the presentation just to answer those who were asking about getting the presentation. About Yair's email, he's going to post it on the chat before we leave. Let's see what else.
As I said, I just want to tell you, for me, it's very important. We are looking for collaboration with governments, NGOs, or private people that have the ability to promote, have the financing to promote the projects. If it's just one here, one there, I'm not going into it. Maybe we have, if you want, maybe have a distributor, and then we can send it out to the distributor in their country. But we're looking also for partners that really are in this environment. They have the ability to promote projects, and they have the ability to get financing for these large-scale projects. Okay?
Yeah, on your website, do you have the information of where you have where the distributors are on your website?
Supposed to be also.
Okay. All right. Another question from Lowell J is about piggery farms, about pig farms. You spoke a little bit about cow manure, but what about pig manure?
Pig manure is amazing. Like in the Pacific, we use a lot of pigs. In Ghana now, we're having pig projects. We have in many places, we have piggery farms, and actually pigs even have more gas than cows because they only have one stomach and they eat a high volume of energy food. So it works.
Okay. We have kind regards from Serbia, and somebody who also met, I guess you, I don't know, met you 10 years ago in Kibbutz Keturah.
Oh, maybe.
So for a mixed agriculture household having up to 20 cows, 1 or 2 hectares of fruits, vegetables, with or without crops, what is an estimated cost for the proposed biogas system? What is the capex cost? Okay, that's the question.
Where?
I guess in Serbia.
I don't know. I don't know which country, but again, as I said, the cost will very, very be different. Depends where in the world, who will send it, who will be if there's a distributor, etc.
Okay, so Gabriel from Ecuador is starting an agricultural project as part of the curriculum of the higher education institution, private institution, and is very interested in getting more information about the topic. Just wanted to let you know that. Okay,
so send me, I'll move it to our distributor there.
Wait. There is an interesting picture in the chat. Milan from Serbia shared a picture of him
I was
cooking
there.
in biogas, with biogas.
Yes, that's right.
Shalom, Yair. Yes.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Wow, how are you?
Oh, Milan, thank you for sharing this with us. It's a very beautiful picture.
Most welcome. Toda rabba. Yes, it was 10 years ago in Kibbutz Keturah. I was the alumni of Moshav and the Arava Institute, and I had the pleasure to meet Yair and to get to know his endeavors and to follow up. I'll be more than happy to catch up because now I'm managing the World Bank funded project in Serbia. We disbursed almost $50 million, and we are now focusing on climate smart agriculture technologies. So be more than happy to catch up. And recently we have also collaborated with the Israeli government on the agriculture development. So thank you again. Sorry for
Milan. As you see, I worked the last 10 years and did some
you aged like a fine wine.
We put a few more systems across the world and developed the product. But thank you so much. We'll be happy to connect.
Mazel tov. Amazing.
Okay. So let's see. I think there's just one last question here. Do you think that a project can be set up where highly charged effluents with mud coming continuously out of a factory, can it be converted into biogas?
I don't know what size of factory and how much waste and what kind. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you even.
Okay.
It depends if it's organic waste, depends on the amount. It's very hard to tell you. Sorry.
Okay. All
I
right.
need to know, they need some more details but yeah, mostly I put my focus, okay? I'm also helping to focus. I'm looking for mostly, let's call it sanitation projects and agricultural projects, mostly in medium, like warm environments. If it can, it's better because then the system even works better. That is the focus. And of course, in education centers, large projects also for education. Also, we can do schools here and there if it's with our distributors, or if you want to become a distributor and you have the ability, that's also okay. We're more than welcome. But again, we're looking really to focus in these areas of like farming, sanitation, distribution, carbon projects, even if you have connections and the ability to help to finance it, also that.
Okay. Fantastic. Ari, I see you put up a video of something for the group.
Yes, it's a present for the group. The video.
Okay.
It's a
What is
video
it?
from Brazil.
From Brazil. Okay. It's
Yes.
Ari is amazing. He works in Brazil as a mashav in promoting sustainable agriculture. He knows the systems
right.
very well. He also promoted it also in schools and also in agricultural in many places. Thank you, Ari, so much.
Thank you, Yair. I love your presentation. Thank you, and I hope to see you in Pesach in Israel.
Amen.
Or in Paraguay. Or in Paraguay.
Or why
Yes.
not?
Ari is in
Okay.
Paraguay. Before we are leaving, may I ask maybe 1 second to open the cameras and see this wonderful family? We are here more than 86 people together from all over the world.
Oh, so nice to see you all.
You are there. You are there. Great.
Hi, everybody. Maybe we can take a group photo, Evelyn, yes?
That's the idea.
Hello.
Okay, so anyone who can open their camera, that's great. We will take a group photo. And thank you all for being with us today. And we hope to see you again on our next lectures, on our next meetings. And that's it for today. So thank you all, everybody.
Yeah, let's say again,
You're
to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice time. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Yair.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Shalom.
Thank you, Ari, for joining us as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good day to all of you.
Everybody.